Hi, my name is Becky. I'm a Christian and I have ADHD and bipolar type 2. And I'd like to share some ways that I have found that helps me to pay attention in church with my ADHD. So the first thing that helps me is having paper and a pen, like something like this, just keep in my purse or something like this. And I like these because I can just stick it right in my Bible. On Wednesday night, we talk about the sermon, so it's really handy to have this just like right on the page. My thoughts are right there so that I can share, my insights or questions that I had during the sermon. And my Bible that I use has wide margins and lines. This one does, for writing notes and stuff. And I got this one pretty recently, and I specifically picked one with lines so that it wouldn't be kind of scrambled all over the page. I think I like it. I haven't had it long enough to know if my notes will get crowded or not. I had this one before that one. I lost it, and then I bought this one, and then I found this one. This one I really liked because it was more artsy. It had some pages in it, and this one has blank, wide margins. So that was kind of cool. I could draw pictures and just kind of write stuff. I don't know quite yet which is my favorite. I think I do like having the blank margins better than having the lines. So when I lose my next one and I buy another one, I'm gonna pick one with just really wide blank margins because I am a doodler, and that helps me to stay focused. When I have my pen and my paper, when the pastor says something and something pops in my head, if I just kind of have to sit there with it, it's hard to pay attention, especially when it's important to me and I'm afraid I'll forget it. I'll want to talk to my husband later or, look something up later. So I love just being able to write it down. A question, do-do-do. A thought, do-do-do. Light bulb goes off, I don't want to forget that, do-do-do. And even if I never go back and read any of this stuff, I think just writing it down kind of helps cement it in. Like I can remember it a little bit better. And then when I do want to go back and look, then it's right there. I have like multiple pens and multiple paper things in my purse. Another thing that helps me is just taking my shoes off and sitting cross-legged in the chair. And I don't think anybody cares. I mean, I've been at this church since I was 12. And I've always taken my shoes off, and I've always sat cross-legged or however. If I try to sit like normal people do, I don't know, it's just uncomfortable, and it's hard to pay attention when I'm comfortable. So I just sit however's comfortable for me, and I sit wherever in the church is good for me. I prefer to sit in the back because I think I struggle more with just being self-conscious about people seeing me. And that, I think, would be harder to focus than me sitting back there and looking forward and then seeing people in front of me. The people at church aren't disruptive, so it's not distracting to me if someone scratches their head or, I don't know, whatever. I also want to mention there's nothing holy or sacred about our modern Western way of doing church, of sitting in the pews. One guy stands up and teaches for half hour or whatever, sing songs, say a prayer. That's not how they did it in Acts. It's not how they did it in Corinth. It's just the way we do it. So if it doesn't work for me, then it's not because I'm bad. It's because it was probably designed by neurotypical people for other neurotypical people. So sometimes I just have a hard time paying attention. It's not because I'm bad or I don't care. It's easier to pay attention when the pastor's telling stories. That's always doing. It's easier to pay attention if he's saying something that I've never heard before or something that's really applicable to me right now. Or if he's saying something that God's been teaching me throughout the week. So now it's like a confirmation of whoa, okay, yeah, I thought God was saying that, and now I'm hearing it again for the second time, and okay, I get it, God. I think the point of church is to have regular getting together being with other Christians, building those relationships, being able to like know each other, to know when something's going wrong. And then when we need help, to be able to ask for help. So I'll just say Sunday morning is not my best learning time. I learn stuff, but the times where I feel most like, yes, this is church, yes, I'm growing, this is what it's meant to be, is when I'm in situations where like we can really use our gifts back and forth. I have the gift of encouragement. I think that's my primary gift. I don't get to do that when I'm just sitting there listening. So just having conversations with people and being able to learn from people who have the gift of wisdom or teaching, just asking them my Bible questions or my life questions, and just being able to receive that from them. That's the church. It's the people. It's not the building. It's not the time. It's the service. It's the people. So when we're together, when we're using our gifts back and forth, giving and receiving, learning from each other, like the body's meant to, send resources all over. It's not supposed to be, we all sit there, watch one person teach, and we all learn from that one person, the end. Some other ways that I've learned, listening to sermons on like a podcast or on YouTube. I do better just listening to a sermon on podcast while I'm doing laundry or something. I think watching the YouTube is a little bit more distracting for me. And I can pick the topics that I'm interested in, or certain speakers that just really click well for me. Tim Keller was someone who really, I could have just listened to him all day long, every day, because I was coming out of legalism. So to be able to listen to that and just have that pouring into my mind every day just really helped to unravel that hold of legalism and to really learn the right way to live. Small group was another thing. I think that was actually the first time where I ever really felt like, whoa, this is church. This is what church was meant to be. And maybe it just really worked for me because of my ADHD brain. I don't know. But for me personally, I loved it. And that's how I wish church was. The thing I love about small group is there's this mutual sharing back and forth. So it's just so helpful to be able to hear things and then to have a time of talking myself. And I just, that back and forth, I just learned so much more in that style of teaching. And having a smaller group of people where everybody has a chance to share and you can go a little bit more deeply because you know the people you're talking to. And I just really enjoyed being able to learn from other people's life experiences and other people's points of view. They'll read a verse and they'll have insights that I never would have thought of. Small group can be kind of tricky when it really is depending on the people that are there. So it's kind of hard to find one there people are on the same page as me. I like a little bit of small talk in the beginning, and then the rest of the time, let's talk about the Bible. Let's talk about Jesus. Let's talk about what we're learning, what God is teaching us day to day in our life. Because that's what I want to share, and that's what I want to hear. So to recap, the way that I pay attention best in church is having these in my hand and just writing or just doodling. Sometimes I'm listening and I'm just drawing hearts and swirlies, and just being able to write down my thoughts and questions as they come helps get them out from here, helps me remember them later so I don't feel like I have to hold on to them. Like I can get them out and then I can keep listening. I hope that was helpful for you, and I would love to see anything that's been helpful for you. So if you could put that in the comments below, I would love to read it, get ideas for myself to try. Because there's still times I get distracted, and I'd like for other people to be able to read your ideas too. And I think the more we can share ideas with each other, how we've figured out what helps for us, the better it is for the whole community of Christians with ADHD. Because there's really not a whole lot out there right now that's helpful for us. I feel like right now, a lot of us are trying to figure things out. So I would love to be sharing what's helpful for each of us. So maybe save other people some grief and trouble trying to figure things out. Have a good day.